generation, we are going to think of a brighter future. So let me say no to push. Let me say no to.
Sierra Leone, push. You my killer, this is for them. Hope for you, say.
This ain't not a kush. No, not a kush. No, not a kush. Oh yeah, me I can feel them. What are they run me eye? We are they see me sister them. They die in the street. Oh. Me I can feel them. When they see me brother them in the streets. Yeah. Some they link they not. Some lay down a guts at the sleep. Oh. So when I ask them, tell me say na kush. Nike pull roll and son of them food. They prefer for left the house, them gonna get so all day they kush. Oh yeah, say not so kush. Me brother don't want before in time. Say not so kush. So we they use the old age man young. Say not so kush. Youths them just they die. Say not so kush. Sorry we say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die, push for die. We say that's a cushion. Papa government help we are. Say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Pop for you to say, is it all? That's all we say. Say make we rap, kush na salon. But we life them.
That is so right, yeah now. What's if they do? When we bother them, they die. Push on the hell, now them body just they try. So foot at them body, they and now they just they cry. When we bother them foot, so they swell now why? I don't know if now the chemical or what's in them they put. Best time for avoid them, nothing but the suit. Other food and they for it, come up be young kush. We say bring this message so you do work for you. On the me.
Every day we they lost it man their life because of kush. Yeah, Papa government, NGOs not come so we aim. Yeah, you way they import kush. You know let's alone. No, now we value we like up the ice. It was
that's a kush. Me brother don't want before in time.
Humble them. On a good evening, on a good afternoon, on a good morning. First off, we tell God thank you we're able to sit on Ayaso. And we tell God thank you we finally able to come on live. I know for say Boku of Funavin don't become a little bit anxious. Especially that, you know, we show not come on Thursday. But let me apologize. Because we run into technical issues just like 2 minutes before we you know set for common. We realize we are running into technical issues. We're not in the project, so if we been try for common, we're not going to see me or not going to hear me, you know. So for avoid all of that, no sound, we can't hear you. We just had to, you know, take the time we need for fix the issue so that everybody go, you know, able for enjoy the show. And everybody also to the one that way they normally contribute where they call into the show, then Seth go able gets the chance for calling to the show. So I thank Una very much for Una patience and understanding. Yeah. So as usual, like I can like for say, I hope say any side usa on a day. I hope say you know the week has been great with you. That the week don't cooperate with you, you know. For me it was a very hectic week, And before we sit down inside the show proper, so today we go touch on a few things then inside the show. Even though we main topic for today, you know, we title you know, during the interview with the Harvard University Center, I know for say the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Lady Fatima Bio, being give an interview na Harvard Center, right? University Center, and inside that interview they will make some statements then. So for me, I dey ask una all where they watch me, we already watch together, the First Lady of Sierra Leone in statements, na the whole truth or na half truth, right? Is it the full truth, na the full picture, or na some part of the picture? So I go let una make una think about that. And then today another also for ask for not for do in-depth analysis, because sometimes in-depth analysis is not necessary. Sometimes they you just need to ask one or two questions, you know. You ask one or two questions and then maybe the one or two questions and they go able to trigger something and maybe might bring about some form of solution, you know, might bring about some form of solution, or encourage we for think deeper, or encourage we for think deeper. So to una way they watch we now with various platforms then, una way they na YouTube, una way they na Facebook, una way they, you know, na X, una way go listen na the radio, na salon, una way they na with different apps them, una all kushe, una all cabo. I'm taking my time to slowly ease myself into the show because honestly, truth be spoken, I just reached a post 30 minutes before the show. I was out, you know, doing my own thing. And I just ran back home 30 minutes before the show. So I need for Sidom compose myself, recollect my thoughts properly. Because waiting I can talk about today, I want to be crystal clear and I want for make sure say I choose the right words. I want to make sure say I choose the right words. Appropriately so to the context, right? So when I know for say this week the Attorney General of the country go to Parliament, he go table the bill or the emergency, you know, declaration for on kush, on drugs. Last week, we play, you know, the head of the nation, you know, solution, 5-step approach, right? We talk about the 5-step approach there. And I promise when I say there will be time for us to go into it and see how that approach they go pan out, right? But we can't do that before we wait for see waiting and the go na Parliament and wait for see waiting go come out of Parliament. Because me strongly believe say that day nine go help you know, kind of guide we own thoughts on this. And for me viewers and listeners, and we can always say, Matilda, you don't dey talk about this kush, this drug thing for so long, make we move on now. I am sorry, we cannot move on. We cannot move on. We not go able move on because we are talking about the next generation. Right? In a see the intent, the action of moving on, it don't be, make we left and so, how for do, make we bear, God day, God go see we through. That sole action, whether you agree with me or not, the sole action of doing nothing and being culturally complacent. Please, I don't tell you I say today, I want to make sure say the choice of word where I use is appropriate to the context. Right? So today one day we can say, look, I don't come back with him big English then. I do mojuba today. Forgive me. Because once in a while, I go throw in what they call the Matildaism, right? It means that now what's the way, not to me one green sabi use amo, but now what's the way me sontende I might come up with or develop in speaking as I dey deal with certain things. So we are a set of people we don't allow we self, for be culturally accepting of certain things, then certain norms, right? So cultural acceptance, right? Cultural acceptance of certain norms where either may produce apathy, right? The reoccurrence of something, even though not normal, but because it so often happen and we consider it normal, we develop the culture of apathy. And the culture of apathy make we dey believe say it is okay for this to happen. After all, na so it be, not be happen to Sisi Joko. Sisi Modu self na so in young pikin self it be happen to am. Cousin Joko self na so cultural accepting norms doesn't mean that these norms are okay. Doesn't mean that the norms are so appropriate. But we don't develop a system where apathy and empathy, there is no clear boundaries between the two. There are no clear boundaries between the two. And most often, we confuse negligence. We confuse negligence, right? We confuse the exaggerated use of power to apathy and empathy. And therefore, at the end of the day, we find ourselves in an efu. What are you so? Efu means so you don't know your right from your left. We find ourselves in a point of efuism. Right? We find ourselves in a point of efuism. So to those who would say, Matilda, you don't talk about this drug, you don't talk about this school, you don't talk about, okay, the government don't hear it and they take action now, this, that. Let us move on. No, we are not moving on until we guarantee, say, this next generation and those coming after them will not make the mistake that the generation before us made. Remember, when the war been they go on a salon, we were kids. We were kids. The trauma of waiting we see, some of we happen for see, the body them, right? The cannibalism, we happen a mountain court. Listen, let me not go into certain things here because we get this system of amnesia where we can lack for playing to. The cannibalism way up on a mountain court, right inside Freetown. Right inside the Okuton. Hello? The burning of bodies, right na St. John. The feasting of the Yubadem, na the body them, right na Connaught. The killing of entire families, the maiming, casting lots for seeing a boy picking a girl picking belle, woman toting belle, the waka they go, fleeing from the rubbish, the nonsense, where we big one them cast upon we, running to protect themselves, trying to save their lives. And the frustration levied upon the young generation, the frustration put upon the young generation, spoiled, with the influence, again, here comes the drug part, with the influence of drug, spoil the young one they are so for do waiting then do. Then they cast lots. Now boy on a girl, please belly woman open. That thing we don't happen at that land. Let us not forget. Sometimes when they talk about this thing, so then say, I don't want to be Shakespearean Nayaso today. Right? And allow me not to be Shakespearean Nayaso, because if I begin going to certain quotes them, certain, proverbs them, I might be lost. Not me per se, but I go lost sooner. So I'm really trying not to go there. You plead belly woman. So you fail to say that boy, that young boy at that time under the influence, we go plead that belly woman in belly. We pull that pikin. That pikin went not ready for common na do it. That child that was still baking inside her stomach, still cooking inside her stomach. You rupture him, you kill him. You fail to say when he or she leaves to become an adult, you think that person is mentally sane? Without going through any form of rehabilitation, without going through any form of counseling, without going through proper rehabilitation, una feel say them people then they normal. These are the generation, these are us. And the one day we teach them, now the generation before they are still here with us. So we are all messed up. We are all working with different forms of trauma. We are a generation, the generation that is currently leading Sierra Leone and that has led Sierra Leone in the past and that may lead Sierra Leone in the near future. Hello, traumatized lots. So now we have grown up. This, that. Hey God, when the war bin they happen, we were children. We were kids who saw things, who witnessed things. Nobody took care of our mental. You feel to say because they uproot you, then put you inside Canada, then uproot you, then put you inside England, then uproot you, then put you in Australia, then uproot you, then put you in America, and so on and so forth, you are okay. You might be in an environment of sanity, but you are mentally insane. So you see them picking them, wanna declare, say, hey, what done, what done, hey, what done. What you forget is that some of these kids were born around the time where, the war was coming to an end. So the mama them, the time when they carry them belly, they were going through trauma. Then sitting them. Then run for protect them, picking them. Then try for protect them, picking them. The trauma internally builds on the mother, passed on to the child. When the child is birthed, una not take the time for create a society and an atmosphere whose either picking they go grow up for being in whole self and in full self. Instead, una continue the perpetuation of apathy mixed up with, power and the use and excessive use of power unabated, continuously. And now these kids who were born into this system have found themselves in a situation where they cannot cope, they do not have the tools to cope, and the cycle continues. Waiting they use, give them people them, for make them cast lots on them, belay them, or their sister and brother them, belay them, where they not go ever seen at this world, but their mama and them papa them were able to survive, bring them kind of this world here so, una not able to take care of them, una not able to rehabilitate them, una pull them, unplug them, unu put them at US, unu put them at Canada, unu put them outside, unu left some of them at Salon Day, and now, without having the proper environment and the proper tool, guess what? It continues in the bloodstream. And then what do we have? A traumatized nation, a traumatized people, traumatized parents, nation without, the tools to manage, they become the next victim. So now you have pikin wey grew up na war, the one that will survive the war, born picking them after the so-called war, not get the right tools them, sit down at the same environment within the, experiencing the same condition, the same thing where they use on them people them are being used on them, and you expect for good leadership to be birthed out of that. Hello, are we serious? So excuse me while I take my time to talk about the dangers of drug addiction, to talk about mental health, the importance of dealing with that. Excuse me while I would always take my time to do that. Because if una so short-sighted that na today una they see, well, I am sorry, not all of us are born there. We might have been birthed in the trauma, or we might have grown up in the trauma, but some of us escaped. And we managed to escape with our head intact because the country needs us for a day like today. For the years to come, for the decades to come, we are needed. And so while we have our head screwed up right, give us the space to do what needs to be done for the country that you claim that you love. Is that okay? Even if it's not okay with you, I don't need your permission. The best you can do is bow out and say goodbye. No need for Sidana also for watching me, not to so. But this, we are going to do it, and we are going to do it together. Because we cannot allow waiting befall us, waiting befall we parents them, waiting befall us, now has befallen. Ebo? No. The answer is no. Collectively, we cannot allow that. So make I read, we number them, and una know for say the moments they show up, we una can call in and discuss anything where we they talk about Nayaso or anything where I bring to the forefront. Make I read the number them for una. We North American toll-free number na 1-866-944-7722. We UK local na +4420-808-91455. We Australia local line na +61-29098-4337. We WhatsApp number na 1-343-997-583. And don't forget, say you can catch us live in Sierra Leone on VOS Radio in Freetown FM 91.9. Don't forget for download we apps them with VOS mobile apps them on Google and on the Apple Play Store. Now also not forget for subscribe to we apps them and also wanna subscribe to we apps them and get unfettered access to so much that VOS is trying to put together for the community. Now, to begin with, Lamrana take we mind back to something. And it can always good that when something happen, make we not just talk but and then just because the sound is the sound, the noise they call, then we self go call. It is always good for make we remind we self. It is always good for make we remind we self of sorry, give me a second here. Sometimes when I am speaking and something comes in, it distracts me a bit. When it can always good for make we remind we self of the events we don't happen in the past, waiting have been the outcome, or waiting at the outcome, or waiting what was the intended outcome, or waiting the authorities them, the people them with all power tell we say then go do, or we for expect them for do. So this week, Lamrana draw our attention to something where I feel safe quite important, and we need for bring them up. We need for talk about them, much small, even as we they go along. Lamrana say, I want to read this. I'll just wait for my producer for put this up, and then I go read them. So, Lamrana say, some 6 months ago in October 2023, the Anti-Corruption Commission announced that they had instituted an investigation into the allegation of receipt of vehicles as gifts by Andrew Kai, the former chief immigration officer. ACC took all the 3 vehicles, including a G-Wagon, into their custody. 3 months ago, in January 2023, the Anti-Corruption Commissioner also announced that they were investigating the Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Paran Tarawali, and his wife, who was allegedly employed as a staff of Parliament without due process and wasn't working. Subsequently, she returned the salary received for the months she didn't work. The husband, Honorable Paran, was suspended, and both of them were put on bail according to the ACC. Now, I have been asking repeatedly about these investigations, and the Deputy Commissioner of the ACC, Augustine Fode Gombe, says the public will be informed accordingly of their reports on the conclusion of these investigations. So me too, I can't wait. I want to tell Lamrana Boku thank you for what he actually remind me of this. Because with the Republic, so many things then they happen. The speed at which that they happen, sometimes it can so hard for keep abreast and follow up with everything. So thank you very much, Lamrana, for reminding us all about this, and because this is something that definitely me self want for see the conclusion, waiting and arrive at and everything. The statement goes on to say that it will be good for the public to understand that could have been the delay in No, what I believe there's a what could have been the delay. What could have been the delay in concluding this investigation, especially when Kai Kai is still working for the government while Paran's suspension was never officially announced. That is true. And we don't know if he's still receiving his salary and other benefits. That is also a very good pointer, because if you are under investigation, the norm for waiting me know, especially as a public servant, is that you be suspended. You dey be suspended until now that make the investigation there, then they get timeline within which the need for be carried out. Because you know one for suspend somebody and then at the end of the day you find out, say, okay, they did nothing wrong. They follow the code of ethics of their work and everything is fine. And then, you hold them off for so long from working, even though in such cases, your back salary you will be back paid for what you are owed, right? During the time of your suspension, because at the end of the day, you were not found wanting. But here is a case where there are two dichotomy playing out here. One, they send a suspend. Will not ever formally again you see official notice of suspension. Now we don't know if this person still dey receiving salary or benefits even though he's suspended. And then the other one, una say una dey investigate, but in continue with in full appointment. Una see how the rule is never applied the same, because this can bring about great ambiguity. And so for me now, I go ask and say, if one has been suspended, we don't know if then they get the full benefits and salary, and the other is being investigated, but in continue for work. At what point and now whose offense? Whose rule book or whose yardstick una can use for determine which offense is greater for suspension and which offense is lesser for non-suspension continuation of work while investigation continues? Because they are both public servants as far as I know. So if they are both public servants, it means for say the same rule, the same code of ethics will apply to both people. They are both there to serve at the will of the nation. Maybe somebody want go and tell me, say, no, one are an elected official. Anywho's, I don't want to dwell on this too much. Lamana, thank you very much for this. People keep this in mind. Make with the watch them and monitor them and they go. It's a good thing to monitor. The other thing I want for make we now turn we attention to, I just look at my list and I know for me I can make my list because I don't want to, I'm not one for skip things them way important, so it's very good for make a list. So the other thing I want for now turn into is that our systems, our structures, we systems them, we structures them. This week I believe say a beaucoup of una see this video. A lot of people have seen this video. This video made the rounds. It come on a net, as a matter of fact. Come on a net, 90% upload this video, and before you know it, it went viral. This just show we why people then like we not go left for talk. This show we why people then like we, the accountability stick, the yardstick of accountability is very important. This show we why make when we support, make we not support blindly. This showing why make if you belong to a political party, that political party they do bad. No, sit down and set mouth. Don't be a bystander. Say the truth, because it can happen to you, it can happen to your family, it can happen to everybody. I don't understand why in 2024 in Sierra Leone, a country with the most mineral, the highest mineral deposits in the world, the most diversified mineral deposits in the world, bar none, the most fertile soil in the world, bar none, rich with minerals, rich in mineral resources, fertile land. I don't understand how in 2024 this can still happen. And please, when I talk, this is a reflection of government past and government present. So for them, one way go can't talk for say, well, APC don't left power now. No, sir. You not go create a district and then you not give them the basic necessity when needed in that district there. You not go create a district for just numbers. And that I'm talking about the APC. And you cannot take on power and do a census in the name of resource distribution. That resource distribution is part of this. Hospitals, clinic, pipe-borne water, electricity, schools. Make we watch this video.
Yeah, so this Nigeria Moria, na a pregnancy woman now carry so we would care go Nigeria because of lack of medical center. Now with the strain, a belly woman now would work out so from here to Iraya would work out by foot. We not get no ambulance where they come for them. Now pass work out for good day. Health center now they we not even get secure policy with a medical. With the help we in this store. So they let the government see, look at the majority where they work at this night. Today, na inside Moria, and they would so. That the kind thing where they happen inside Moria and this so. Na Beleuma and I would travel so. By this 1 o'clock at night, wait man for be pray day. And today we dey inside this kind pain and agony. We are with the beg on behalf of the government and other humanitarian bodies. They will not see to the strain and the pain what them family they take. And the Beleuma and the go so. Look at the people them where they go there for go left Nigeria for the health center. Do you allow not see to this pain?
This, I think, say now one of the most heart-wrenching videos them where I don't see come on inside salon lately. By God in power, I will pick the subject back up next week because the right people, by the grace of God, will be seated here next week to discuss this. Inside salon, again, with everything that we claim that we have, with we leaders them, with the people in authority, when you are playing your numbers game for rig or for craft or for manipulate, when you're playing the numbers game, remember that not just a number, you're playing with lives. I believe it was the New York Times, if I'm not if I know they forget, but if I quote this right, but I believe saying that the New York Times, I believe it was a year and a half ago, or at best 2 years ago, where an article come out where says Sierra Leone now the most dangerous place for get belly na the world. I believe it was the New York Times. And if I am wrong and it was on any other magazine and una be know that magazine there because na a worldwide magazine. And the funny thing is that it was right on the cover, like the front cover page. And una know wetin, if anybody don't work na print, anybody don't do journalism, anybody don't do print, don't work na printing press, anybody don't work na the print media. Una know for say, for make a story be the cover, it has to mean something. Story not just they can't take no more the cover of the magazine. But Sierra Leone take the cover of that magazine at that time, whether research they come out na do that Sierra Leone na the most deadliest place for get belly and for born picking. I believe there were some who questioned the researchers and this and that. Oh, they are from the West. They have no clear blah, 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 blah. They have not been in the environment enough. So we are trying. I'm not saying we are not trying. But we are trying for what we have as natural resources, for what is being displayed as wealth. And I don't go na Biobari. And I don't see the hostel where they build na Biobari. And I don't see the hostel where they build na Biobari. Have you visited IMAT lately? Have you visited Mountain? Have you visited number 2 lately? Have you visited Kenema lately? Hey, have you visited Bo, certain areas than a Bo lately? Have you made a visit? Have you visited some of the Kryotong men lately? For make you ask, now that you stand there, have you done a visit lately? I know for say, but of na go say, Martina, if you don't know Canada, how you know? I know because this is what I do. For see the massive display of wealth, of riches, unexplained wealth, unexplained riches. While in 2024, while inside 2024, the eve of Predewena Wednesday, Tuesday, we get a belle woman where then they carry na a district inside a makeshift amok. Me say, and people then go broke tick together, put pieces, come up with an idea, make you just see no more the innovation of people if only they are given the opportunity to do things. And do it right. Make you see how we all go benefit and how we all go prosper. In the middle of the night, like the man will say 1 o'clock na morning, for save that belle woman and in picking in life, 1 o'clock na morning. No electricity. Meanwhile, we all get electricity then on our house. Because when EDSA no give una generator the kick automatically. So una don't know wetin it mean for the inside blackout. Some of you go na house when na 20 something in the inside one room. Na they knock mosquito like jamawas. But all of a sudden, you've been given an opportunity for change, for impact change and do better. But you forget about that instantaneously. Instead, you run to riches, you run for grabbing. So inside this day, when you have a head of state that is buying a Maybach, 7 blended Maybach. When I say 7 blended, I say 7 blended bulletproof Maybach. You get a president where they buy I don't know what thing it needs 7 blended bulletproof motor car for. Because if you are well with your people and you are well with yourself, there is no need for all of that. If you are well with your people, you are well with yourself, you know that you don't do everything what you're supposed to do for your people, there is no need for all of that. Me and the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, we all two go jogging at the same area at Gatineau Park. You know the funny thing? How we the jog they go and go na yon trail, and myself they jog me, they go na yon trail. I not go say security details no go there around them all. But they not go there in the way that way go even intimidate me, or they not go block the area for me for use. Because guess what? Me tax money, they go inside there. Me tax money, allow that for exist, allow that for day. So it will be funny that I go there on top bike, they do me exercise, or they go na a trail, or they go hiking or whatever. I jam with me Prime Minister, or I jam with my minister, or I jam with somebody big na the Canadian government. It don't mean nothing. Nobody know they stop for take picture, nobody know they do this stuff. We all day they do with business. Jejely. But it is happening for Cisse. You get a president where recently buy a Maybach 7 times bulletproof, but yet you get a belle woman where then forgets for make a makeshift amok for to save in life and in picking in life. Meanwhile, for just last year alone, the country spent 1.7 million in medical expenses for government officials. 1.7 million. Now ask me, overseas medical, 1.3 million, let me be exact, $1.3 million. So if you don't take that $1.3 million day and put things them what we need now, we own local hospitals them, and create hospitals them or clinic na then communities them also. We no fail to say 1 o'clock morning people then go cross wasa esbele woman torchlight for making them see road. When have we become so wicked with each other and to each other? But yet you will go out in the world and make speeches as to how developed our country is and everything you have changed. You know, they criticize on a question and they ask us in, what thing you they portray to the world? Is it a stark reality of what the people are actually living? Because if you make census, wait time not reach for make census, and your justification is to bring about fair distribution of resources, are the resource this? And this is what will ensue from this tragedy. I don't know if that woman, sometimes I first speaking this, I don't know if na second picking, I don't know if she's been struggling to have a child, and finally, God finally bless her, me older picking 9 months inside in belly. Can't tell for make it all in bundle of joy in evidence. Because of we greed, this happen, make I read the statement. This happen. I go read the statement. So again, I take Lamana in tweet in report because I find like he puts together a cohesive report. I don't always say this. I will give me your analysis and then I come and read. Sometimes if he has something to say about something, I'll just read what he's saying because he obviously don't go at the he don't do the more thorough investigation, right? It says, with the help of a colleague in Kabbalah, I have verified this video and it's indeed from somewhere in Falaba district. I spoke to a senior health official at the Kabbalah Government Hospital who confirmed that the 7-year-old woman who arrived at the hospital on Wednesday, 10th April 2024 at around 4 a.m. At around 4 a.m. So it take them people here so. I don't know at what point this person begin record this video. But at the time when he make this video, yeah, what we all they say, he say now 1 o'clock na morning so. Talk and he say now 1 o'clock na morning so, and at this we get for do for try for carry this woman go na the nearby hospital from we community. Now, and they say according to Lamgana in report, say the official, the senior health official when in talk to now the Kabbalah government hospital confirm say they reach with this woman at the hospital around 4 a.m. in the morning. We mean say give or take, then people here so waka by foot with this woman in labor for 3 hours. I not know when them begin, but let us just take it from outside that video say now 1 o'clock na morning so. To waiting this one so in they say 4 a.m. in the morning when they got to the hospital. It took them 3 hours by foot. For try for save this belly woman in any unborn child in life. And yet some of you would sit here and say, Matilda, you're not patriotic. Matilda, you don't see what the government is doing. Is it not the government's role to provide the basic and then the citizen can come in and help? Why they go divide a district for sake of vote if you not go give them the basic necessity? Why they go make the census for sake of votes and money and how for manipulate money from donors them if you are not even going to do right by the people? If you are not even going to try like a semblance of right. And so the statement goes on to say, if I may read. They say at around 4 a.m. was referred to them from From a peripheral health unit where she arrived on a hammock. So then take and go some side. Obviously, I guess that side there. At that point, better not they. Or maybe they don't even have the equipment. Because in most of our hospitals, them, especially in that part, then side and they, let's truth be told, waiting then Sabina, open your leg. Push. Push now. You know they push. 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 I for push on, I for push. And if strength fail you in the middle of na for push no, you know they push. Well, past God say not to you temo, and by some miracle and some stroke of luck, you manage for make a more. If not, the next thing what people are for ready for, na kasanke money. That has been the norm. Let us call a spade and make we talk the truth. So I continue with the statement. And so it goes on to say she had some complications. Obviously, how you not go get complications? After home delivery was attempted, but was able to deliver the baby, who died a few hours before she arrived at the hospital. I think say yes, home delivery was attempted, they took her somewhere, whatever. I honestly feel say you know what? May the soul of that baby rest in peace. May the soul of the baby rest in peace. May this woman find solace, the woman and the husband and the family, may they find solace. May she fully recover. And if it be the will of God, may she be blessed with another. Make we move on. Because I'm getting to the point where if I continue with this topic, I'm not going to touch the actual topic for today. I will have so much to say. So let us move on. Make we move on. So, what thing I want to talk about today, right now, and I know say most people will say, Matilda, you don't. No. The term I need for talk about this, now the exact term we get right now. If callers call, even if callers call, if even self now na 20 call, I still get enough time for deal with this topic. Because it will go very, very much straight to the point. Very much straight to the point, yeah? So, I want to make we listen. Until I see waiting at the topic for today, it said during an interview with the Harvard University Center, the First Lady of Sierra Leone make a statement, they interview and they ask a question. And in response, and when they ask the question, say, is it the truth or half truth? And for this one, I'm not going to do an analysis. No. Like where the Arab man then can say, "Kalas, finish." I'm not going to do an analysis. No, because the point's not there for make I do analysis. Because right now, kalas, we're at a stage of kalas, finish. Make we listen to waiting Professor Fatima Madabiu in get for say to the powers of the world, the people of Sierra Leone, to us the Munkus and the non-Munkus, and the in-between. Professor had something to say, and we must listen to what Professor had to say.
The kind of mineral resources we have in our country is enough to take care of everybody in that country. We should not have a single poor person in Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, we are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they'll be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. They will do things to make you not to be functionable. And of course, any country that don't have peace cannot develop. You have to have peace before you talk about development. I'll give you a simple example about Sierra Leone. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. Every mining company. If it's not the Chinese, it's the American, it's the British. Our electricity, Bumuna, is run by the British, and we still don't have light. We're looking for light, electricity. If you don't have electricity, how can you talk about education? How can you talk about health facility? How can you talk about improving the infrastructure of your country? We don't have electricity. Now, do we actually even have proper water, pipe-borne water, so that our kids will not be sick? We don't have those facilities. Why? With all the minerals we have, there is a cap you put. Before my husband became the president of Sierra Leone was benefiting, they said, what's the word? 0.000.1%. What is that? Basically, a company can take as much as $100 million out of the country in terms of minerals, and then they can just give the country $10,000. Now, what will $10,000 do for our health system? What is $10,000 do for our educational system? You cannot be coming to our country and take everything that will make us develop, and then you still treat us as inferior people, as if we don't know what we're doing. I think that is wrong. And these are the things I believe that are stopping Africa from progressing. We don't have a say. The sense about us celebrating independence, I don't know why we celebrate independence, because we are not free. That is my own take. I'm not speaking also on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone, nor am I speaking on behalf of His Excellency the President. I am speaking as Fatima, as a citizen of a country who believes that things need to change. In Africa, you should not have a leader that is assertive, a leader that knows what his people want, a leader that wants to change what is happening. The moment you have that, it's everyone's target. And then they find reason to slow you down, they find reason to stop you, and they use that system of corruption. They use corrupt people, they use negative people, they use unpatriotic citizens to come after a government who is doing what is right for a system. I think we need to address those issues. Unfortunately, I don't know I'm very good at name calling, but at the moment, I don't know who I should be screaming at. One of the most serious issues I have with the United Nations is the fact that Africa is not part of the Security Council. We're talking about 54 countries, I'm sorry. 54 countries, a whole continent does not have one person representing Africa when it comes to decision making at the Security Council.
And I'd observe also that no African country has its own executive director at the World Bank either.
No, unfortunately,
yes.
We don't know how to manage money.
I think I'll have to disagree with you.
And what do you want me to say? Because if that is the perception since the beginning of, every time an African come forward for something, that they have to be a decision maker for the world, not just Africa. It's just not possible.
I understand.
So what can I say? There must be a prescription somewhere that says, Africa, you are not good enough.
Well, it might be revolutionary, but I'm going to say it right here. Africans should be in charge of Africa.
I believe that also that Africans' issue can only be enhanced when Africans decide to do that. They should not allow another person to give them a prescription of how Africa should look like or what we need in our Africa, because we know what we need in our Africa. No one will know that better than us. And I think the UN should see Africa as partners. And the United Nations, definitely, you cannot have 7 countries vetoing everything. When it comes to Africa issue, it is those 7 countries. Who are the countries that are actually exploiting Africa? They're the ones who have the veto power. to make decision on anything that has to do with Africa. So for me, I think that is wrong. And that is one thing the president of Sierra Leone has campaigned for. And this year, Sierra Leone is now a non-permanent member at the United Nations. But yet still, we don't have a veto power. But we're there. At least we are getting closer. And in these 2 years, our mission is to get the United Nations to see Africa not as one country. Because that's the mistake they do. When you say I'm from Africa, they say, oh, you're from Nigeria. I said, no, Nigeria is one country in Africa. You know, we have 54 countries in Africa. So see us as a continent that also, what we offer to the world, Europe does not have it. What Africa gives to the world, Europe don't have it, America don't have it, Asia don't have it. Because we are not mining in China, we are not doing any mining in America or mining in Europe. But they are doing it in every part of Africa. Not just Sierra Leone, go to Democratic Republic of Congo, go to Botswana, go to Angola, go everywhere there is mineral resources. It is the West and the Chinese who are there. When you come to Africa, ask me what is it that I want. If you ask me what food do you want to eat, I'll tell you I want to eat rice. But then if you come to Africa and bring me spaghetti and said I want you to eat spaghetti, that you're imposing on me. With everything that we have in Africa, for all the people or all the organizations or all the companies that are coming to take from us, for once, see us as partners. For once, treat us with respect. And then help us develop. Because when we're developed, doesn't mean you will not do your mining. It just means you'll be changing lives and changing lives in a positive way. So by depriving us that development, by depriving us that opportunity for us to be able to be self-sufficient, for me, that is what is wrong. And that is why I am not able to stay silent.
Okay, Professor Dr. Fatima Mada Bio. Brilliant, exquisite. Hey, you know everything about foreign policy. You know everything about foreign relations. You know everything about minerals, mineral deposits and mining. You know everything about history. You know everything about trade negotiations and all of that. You know everything. Hey, listen, me, I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. You said it all. You have spoken it, my lady. You speak it all. Is it you speak it or you spoke it? Ha! You did it. Chai! I sure say say Professor Patrick Lumumba there. Go say that is my lady. Right? I just have a few questions for you, my lady. So now I can ask the producer. This clip na 8 minutes long. Now we can take a minute by minute. Because for me, for just, remember, I'm not doing an analysis, so I'm not here to do any form of analysis. Because like I say, colors, it is finished. Colors. You know, the Arab man can say colors. When I say colors, means it is done. Finito. So, doctor, you say one thing. You say Sierra Leone is loaded with PhD holders. And that PhD holders them are the most big full set of people them inside salon. I agree with you. Because you've become a PhD holder, not to so. Even though you not do a PhD, not to so. And they call you now doctor, not so, right? You are right. You are very correct. Make we take a minute by minute. Let me ask you the questions, just for reflection. Let us go, Mr. Producer, minute by minute. Let us take the first minute.
The kind of mineral resources we have in our country is enough to take care of everybody in that country. We should not have a single poor person in Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, we are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they'll be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. They will do things to make you not to be functionable. And of course, any country that don't have peace cannot develop. You have to have peace before you talk about development. I'll give you a simple example about Sierra Leone. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. Every mining company. If it's not the Chinese, it's the American, it's the British. Our electricity, Bumuna, is run by the British, and we still don't have light. We're looking for light, electricity. If you don't have electricity, how can you talk about education? How?
Minute by minute. Thank you very much. So I don't want to go beyond the first minute by minute. That's how, because my brain too small. Not able to take more than minutes by minute. So, Madam First Lady, you're right. Sierra Leone gets all the mineral deposits in the world that no single Sierra Leonean for be poor. As a matter of fact, being a millionaire in Sierra Leone should be the poorest man in Sierra Leone. The poorest man in Sierra Leone should be a millionaire. By the level of the wealth where we get as a nation, not just in mineral deposits, but just even with soil, the richness of the soil. Just by that simple level there, I agree that everybody in Sierra Leone supposed to be uber wealthy. Now that make us say the poorest man in Sierra Leone supposed to be a millionaire. But you say that Big Brother no they allow Unu for make a decision. And when Unu fight back, they fight back with the opposition, then go behind your back, then they set up the opposition against you. And that every company, the caller is just going to have to hold the line and wait until I finish this thought. So caller, hold the line. And that every company inside Sierra Leone, na foreigner ownam, Bumbuna, na foreigner ownam, this na foreigner ownam. A simple question, madam. These then so-called foreigner they also we own. Who that call them come? Then so-called foreigner they also, then so-called Big Brother they also. Did they just come and sign an agreement in space? Or did they sign it with the involvement, the approval of a sovereign nation. Somebody been tie them hand, put them a chair, or somebody tie them to hand, put tape na their mouth, make them not talk. And if the person will come, we say that this nine na their own terms and condition, and that term and condition they not agree with you, then been tie you hand and you mouth for sign and say you for agree. Then been tie you hand. I don't think say any foreigner don't can salon can tie anybody in hand and in mouth. Say these are my condition, you must abide by it. Because as a nation, you get the freedom for negotiate. So if you negotiate a bad deal for you people them out of greed, you're not going to now turn around and say a businessman is not going to make his profit. At the end of the day, business is money and business is profit. So if you sleep on unu laurels instead of negotiating good deals for unu people them, una accept granat skanda, and then granat skanda then they will unu accept. And waiting and they take common at the country, nine and they use as endowment fund for build their own place then. Where they won't get tax break, then where they don't tifted and don't tifted and don't taked and don't taked and don't stuff all side left and then you see them go open endowment fund. So part of that endowment fund I allow you the privilege for make them pay you plane ticket, put you up in a hotel, give you per diem for make you sit down at the chair outside you sit down they talk, waiting you they talk. But you see, if you don't negotiate the way we're supposed to negotiate, like when they're ready for camp, now then they buy their own tickets, pay their own plane. At best, sometimes we go do and for put them up in a hotel and say there is where you will lodge. And if that hotel is not conducive for them, they will tell you that no, we prefer this. We will pay the difference. Don't worry. It is, as a matter of fact, it is taken care of by their embassy. So you sit and point fingers. But who are you pointing the them be? No. Like honestly, na question are they ask you. Uda oluna an, uda tie una foot, uda lock uno mouth, and say sign here so or else. Make her take the call. Caller. Waiting at your name and who say the call for.
Hello, Matilda. This is not Umaru the call.
Yes, Umar, go ahead.
First of all, before I come to this too much explanation, Mami will get go first. Doyan also start. I still the reflection of my memory up to now as a child in 1992. I was so unfortunate for experience the war. As a child, I witnessed the war. Nakono, phase 1, phase 2, Operation Pay Yourself, Operation Spare No Soul. I'm unfortunate for also witness the war na Kabbalah, when a Teresa night. First of all, the 5 o'clock attack, then a Teresa night. Then we move, then I'm unfortunate for meet up the January 6. So waiting I come up with this talk. So technically, some of we then rob we off with childhood at that country. You know, we grow up, we're not saboting our childhood. I stopped for go school 1997. I think I was in class 3 by then. 2000, I think in Freetown. I mean, I be almost big man would go school and they laugh with and day. You know, but yet still, that particular generation, a bunch of them you will make them up. You will at least, even though the system not been able to liberate them from the hardship, the trauma, but at least they find a way. And the one that now way, at least this squish the money now way this squish they stop. Those are children in 2000s, 2001. And this one, they not go take the war as yardstick. Why are they talk this? Sierra Leone's youth, we need for wake up. We fight, we target not for be drugs. Drugs, not we target. Anybody who grow up na kono, he go know say that sister we see that amok. We grow up na that we sabi. We then they will do parts, they must do. You sick, they go for couch na you man do. Na amok na we sabi. Miti na we akam na free to na can see na can saboti na wait na ambulance. So this system not change. The same system we make we go into war. Do you have a give me time we become patients? The same system we make we go into war. Now the same system they like today. So for make you get a youth when they will focused. Political party don't just push everybody aside. Not get country interest. They just they fight their way into riches. A very difficult, it discouraging, unfortunate for Sierra Leoneans. Now, let's come to this first lady. First of all, if you want to be a Pan-Africanist, let a gonna media ask a man for resign as an Pan-Africanist. Because if you get a man with a Bible bulletproof, where he will buy second-hand ambulance for his nation, but yet he buy bulletproof. Sierra Leone not that kind of scared. Just 5-10 years ago, and as by Kroma drive inside private motor car pass Nakuto Road. Sierra Leone not that dangerous to the American. We get country dangerous, and Sierra Leone not the part of our country. Now you say they talk, they blame people for your misfortune. Now come on, look kind of region. We are Rwanda. In fact, Rwanda was it been fair for pass we because they were then classified as a genocide. But go Rwanda till you see 30 years, then they celebrate. Some days ago, then they celebrate. Go let you go see the difference. You see the development we do to that time to now. And they got all they left, all they get they don't natural wouldn't get everything. Now but zoo and so animals and they survive from. We get animals, we get for protect, we make so it attract people, we get minerals, we get everything. But go to Africa, let you see now one of the most deteriorated city in Africa. The only city all the boss say we better pass small. Then a Labria. But other than that, nothing. And then country there, we all go on through the same hardship. And then country there where they talk, now the same way that they bend we and now the same way that they bend the hand. But Guinea go to the military rule they but see, today then they split roads, and we will see there they blame people when we get. So this unnecessary talk. Now they say you go explain no evidence. You go sit down in the pick fight. Why you go pick fight with people? Come back now your country, can't set your country as a Pan-Africanist, can't talk to him and say, darling, not so long we do this is not the right thing. And so we want to see. But you need to go sit down and international states in the pick fight. The people they laugh you. Because see, we never get sustainable like in that country like today. You get Rwanda and they wouldn't kill themselves. The same thing will happen at Rwanda and almost the same thing happen. We now inside war we grow up. So we see the Fatima Biodo they make. You know, at least they say in 40, even 58, they say in 40s. So Fatima Bio gets sense during the war. A CO2 we go through. So for let you go sit down and they make flimsy excuse. Where they can't dance on social media. Then when they go pick fight with people who are not responsible for her. Let a guy can't talk to a man. We want to see not only Fatima Bio, we want to see every politician. If now so it get now what he plan, what in I act, now it talk. Let not do the talk. Let it do the act. Like way this landed man na on a program he always talk. Mr. Shilon. We want serious action, not to forget sit down. The right for you speech, you come all night in the morning, you go and pick fight with people. Come back home, can settle the problem. We get countries there where they go through the same thing, but yet they develop. Look, Rwanda, we go through the same thing. And then to Rwanda, we get sent and I remember they told them when the bomb clay factory in Afrito, then I didn't na Bremale water side the brook. So I know I was not that much a child at that time. I know what thing go on. I know so we there. I know say all what thing happen now, nothing not change. The same thing we make we go into war now. The same thing happen today. So for let you go see the pick fight, it's unnecessary. No go pick fight with people who are not responsible for you. Then they do their own. I help them, they help. Now business, if you come to me, I say I need a sell. You know go say Papa Pasi sell give me. Anyway, let's give people a chance.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I know say you grew up, you meet Amok now, Amok Unasabi. I don't know how old you are, but from that time day to now, I think say we no longer in an Amok stage. And if we still in an Amok stage and makes it Amok stage, then it tells you that we have not grown an inch. Doesn't make it okay, it does not make it right. It wasn't, it not make them okay then, it not make them okay now. But make we continue with my dear lady in lecture. You say somebody they arm twist, you know. The caller just mentioned Rwanda, and Rwanda was one of my example in what I want to use. You say all the mining companies then are foreigners, they own them. These foreigners that own, they foreigner they also own the mining company also. Who that send call them can? Who that give them the rights to mine? Now themselves just give themselves the rights to mine. Now themselves just send call themselves come and can put themselves on top uno. You fail to say when they go Rwanda, they not do the same and try for going to bad contract. But because the person where they you know usai he come out and usai he they go, he make sure say he do something for in people them. When in people then go see the results, the tangible results. For the longest time, the Swiss they not been the one with Ghana and Ghana then cocoa. But when Akufo-Addo when he ready, when Nana ready, when he look at the contract where they sign, he say, no, not in this time, not in this age. I am going to renegotiate this. And this one that they give it, you know, they happen again. Una know they can't take with raw material, then una go make millions, and then una give we peanuts. Côte d'Ivoire, then Acheke, then shea butter. Did the same thing not happen? I can go on and name so many other countries. They fought back. Then take what they deserve without making any excuses. Because they know for say the fault was theirs in the first place. Now they negotiate bad contracts. Did they talk about bad contract? Okay, let's say bad contract was negotiated by the Shaka Stevens, the Momo. Madam, was your husband not part of something called the NPLC? Was he or was he not? Can you go back and look at the contracts that were negotiated during something called the NPLC? So this your husband that is now trying to, or that you are purporting to be so enlightened and so whatever, and that, you know, the big brother then they squeeze. Was he not part of something called the NPRC? Was he not seated at the table? Was he not given indemnities, or did indemnities not help him to attend a school called American University? How did that whole thing come about? Now, who that pay for him? Who side the money come out? And how the negotiation be happen? Have you looked at the documents recently before you had this interview or before you made this statement? Oh, is there a place called Black Johnson? There is, right? There's a place called Black Johnson, not so. Remind me again now, who that's not the president who signed that contract there? What's in the percentage again? Who that the person will go China, will go receive a certificate and then get $10,000? And then the person vexing at $10,000 no more than they give me. I just ask a question, oh. Just as you they talk your own truth. I just want to ask no more say, sometimes they talk the truth, more talk the full truth. Is there something called sardine being produced in Sierra Leone? That sardine then are almost at the percentage where they kind size salon. Does the packaging even say made in Sierra Leone? Who don't know the person who signed that contract there? Wasn't there a renegotiation of a mineral mining thing recently? What came out of that? What were the kickbacks, madam? Did that escape you all of a sudden? And whose husband is in charge? So let us say bad contracts were signed by all of the other people that I don't call. You forget, say there was something called NPRC, and there was someone part of that. And then now, there is something called the SLPP, and there is someone leading the SLPP, and there are contracts that have been signed by these same internationals. Since you man in know, why did he get arm twisted into signing this deal? Since he know what's up, why he agree for signing deal then so? Why he not say like the Rwandan president like Kagame? Why he not say never, not on my watch? Like the late president Mogofuko of Tanzania, why he say no, never, not on my watch? Why? Why not say that? I'm just wondering, no. A question we they ask you. So that next time when you talk, you go give you the full story, you know, go just left and half. Let us go on and listen to another minute.
How can you talk about health facility? How can you talk about improving the infrastructure of your country? We don't have electricity. Now, do we actually even have proper water, pipe-borne water, so that our kids will not be sick? We don't have those facilities. Why, with all the minerals we have, there is a cap you put. Before my husband became the president of Sierra Leone was benefiting, they said, what's the word? 0.000.1%. What is that? Basically, a company can take as much as $100 million out of the country in terms of minerals, and then they can just give the country $10,000. Wow. Now, what will $10,000 do for our health system? What is
Abio.
$10,000 do for our educational system? You cannot be coming to our country and take everything that will make us develop, and then you still treat us as inferior people, as if we don't know what we're doing.
Yes, it is true. You are 100% right. You cannot be coming to our country, taking everything we have, and then you still treat us as inferior people. You are right. Eh? We don't have clean born, pipe born water, schools, education, this, that. Woman, are you serious? Is it the responsibility of a foreign national? Is it the responsibility of a mining company for set up schools? Now, part of the corporate social responsibility, when you been they sign that paper there with them, did you insist that that should be part of their corporate social responsibility in your country? Did you insist? Did you put that clause there as a mandatory clause? So they demand what you don't put. It is not the responsibility of a mining company for set up schools, for ensure say you get clean pipe borne water, for ensure say you get good clinic. That is not their job. Their job is to make profit, to run a business and make profit. You as a government, your responsibility now for ensure say whatever you decide with this person here, so be at you advantage. If you not be at your advantage, at least make it benefit you. Make it benefit you people then. You say they are taking 0,000. The first question I may ask you, madam, you are not the president of a nation. How did you become privy to such? You are not the president of the nation. You are not the foreign minister. You are not the minister of agriculture. You are not this vice president. You're not the minister of international relations. How did you become privy to such detail? How? Because now that the president right now in America, okay, Joe Biden, you feel to say if Jill Biden go sit down, they talk about such things publicly, things that is not even remotely the part of in portfolio, let alone for the part of in knowledge, because these are internal running of the country, international relations, international affairs deals them, trade deals them. If Jill Biden go mistake, they go talk some. You feel to say Congress no go don't call them to order right away for make it can sit don't tell them who's high offend the information they are so, and who that release the information they are so to in knowledge. Ebo. You feel to say if the president of Rwanda in West go sit down, they go talk such thing. You fail to say the ministers them or the parliament of Rwanda or they get a different structure. They not before don't call and say, madam, come. We heard you say. Or even Ghana, you fail to say Nana Akufo-Addo in West, they not before don't call and say, madam, hey, come, can't sit down. You talk something. Can you please explain? But this also comes to show one thing. It comes to show that there are several people ruling Sierra Leone. This not a clear indication. If they can say there are no more a clear evidence to demonstrate the fact that not to the person who wanna feel say they rule Sierra Leone and they rule Sierra Leone, but the nation is being ruled in conjunction with somebody else. If you not ever doubt them, let this be the answer that you need to know that no doubt them. To the very minute detail. What are people paying taxes for? Why do you have a wage bill? Why do you have a budget? Why do you conduct census for hand-me-down, for handouts? What are you people? Okay, you say, and they give you $10,000. What can $10,000 do? If then $10,000, they will then they give you per annum. If you no put into good use and you no diversify on our economy, you no feel to say by now, Sierra Leone, every community in Sierra Leone, not for don't get the basics. If you people use that that so-called $10,000 that you are privy to, that is being handed to them as chicken change. If that $10,000 day were used judiciously, if that $10,000 they been they gone at the right place, being used the right way, should every community in Sierra Leone not have proper school, proper healthcare facility or clinic facility, proper water, the list, the 3 basics, and then light, the 4 basics? Think about it now. Say then they dash you $10,000 and then they treat you like Pekin. You negotiate a bad contract. You take kickbacks. You live on the indemnity of those bad contracts, and you are here saying what? Make I take the caller. Caller, waiting your name and also you the call from. Hello, caller. Make I take the caller. Caller, waiting your name and you the call from.
Yeah, my name is Mohammed. I call from Boston, yeah, so. Good evening, Matilda.
Yes,
Yeah,
good evening.
hello.
Please. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I've been everyone caller. We can call this now to talk about hammock. We be say we say in day we say in day it is still they use hammock for cargo people them at the hospitals them. You know. We Sierra Leoneans now one thing about we would forget waiting they happen. Would they really forget waiting they happen? Quick we don't forget. It is fair for life say we don't come out then their ages then they wouldn't they still they put Kumra Bele woman na hammock for Kerango. You know, the first day I see this video na TPP Leone. I'm not able to bear Matilda I cry. Sierra Leone, how we go still deep and this kind of thing? Then go put Bele woman per hammock. You know, middle nets, they work out with that woman there. Na nets. Say then can go at the end of the day, he go lost the baby. He go lost the baby. It's very, very sad. I feel very bad that next they were watching at TPP Leone. You know, oh God. Them people here, then give them money during COVID. Then give them money. What did they go do? Then grab them, go buy SUVs. Look at Gambia, where they're very close to Sierra Leone. Where they give them money, then buy ambulances, then buy food, rice, then can go to stadium. Then get the rest go to stadium. Then make sure say then shape all the villages them around. But we Sierra Leone, when they give them the money, they not go buy nothing when America stop them for the COVID. Then go buy SUVs for them. They begin to drive. You know, they provoke the people there because na provocation that they miss here. Now provocation mission, you see, it's very sad. As for Fatima, me I not want for talk about them because now the one that we don't pamper them, now they get all them things they for make it can talk with no concern am. Because nobody no vote for Fatima. Me not sabi and say na a government official or for say na person we them vote for. He just go married to mother. If he married to mother, that no game that platform they for come team up in America now or sit on America now. Now this Dr. Babi they talk about them. What that book Dr. Babi writes about her, you know, get one way he life and this woman. Always he say na he. You see? And when you see them people in America then get a chance for make talk, they really know say they can't talk something we're very stupid because Dr. Babi, they don't tell Harvard about this woman. They know, but they still welcome them. They say, like, can't talk. Like, can't talk, like, what he can't talk. Now, look what he can't talk now. They can't blame white people, them. Eh? Who's white people, the way they can't blame for minerals, them way. Now, they negotiate, just like I say no more. Now, government, they negotiate. We then come, we not give them percentage. Look, this new president, we can Senegal. As he can more, the first thing for renegotiate, visit the contract the way they do. The fishing way EU they do now Senegal. He don't ban them. All them money they pay na France. He said no, they're not for paying na France anymore. They're for paying the central bank na Senegal. Na so possible like in country work so. Na so country like in possible like in country they work so. They can't blame people all over the place. If in a Pan-Africanist, just like what the caller been say, make it forget about hands off our girls. They go to parabolate all over Africa. They go and talk about Pan-Africanism or all over the world. You know, so it's sad. It's very sad. Now that
Indeed.
I know hold the line too long. Let other people and talk back, Matilda. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Go ahead. I'll take the next call. Caller, what's your name and who say you call for?
Hello, viewers. This is Omaro again.
Okay, go ahead.
Una they get me?
Yes, when they get you, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I think say people, some man misunderstand why I come up with the armor talk, and why I say the same thing they go on. From where we get a system where it been there where deprive people been too much to that country, access to health it be limited. The natural cake now only few people may they share. And few people may enrich themselves outside the masses to suffer. And we see a youth where they na the border, where na the part of the military by then. Government abandoned them. Then go for take transport for can direct na freedom. For can ask for the ration and then get and fortunate for get luck decide for carry on an attack. So for make you see that system, that deprived system, when we don't even go into war, 11 years war, you see that same system they go now. They tell you, say, Sierra Leone no grow. So when I talk that no meal, say, I feel, say, if a normal. But yet, we not foresee that after 11 years. Otherwise, the war will go into 11 years, no make sense. Because the larger part of the justification of the war, now that people been deprived, you can certain people disown them of offices and they control natural resources. Forget say that people make entity. So for make you see that same system in 2024, and this one what they talk so, it was in 1990s. Now we see the same system in 2024 now. So now that is certainly alarming. So now that I make when I say, if then 10 and day where we make you understand then 10 and day democracy will not be strong in that country, or we get some semi-dictators in that country, will be the see that thing. But we not foresee it now. So for make the fair fact that it happen now, don't so say Sierra Leone will not grow. The war we go into now full man war will fight. The war will fight will not learn anything out of them. So now that make a mention what I mention. Not that I try for justify and say if final, but just imagine in 2024. You know, if I sick now, I go to hospital. Believe me, it go close to an hour. The only time when you go see sometimes somebody touch me direct, get direct contact with me, now for check my blood pressure. But other than that, it go take hour almost an insect laptop then they show. In fact, the medicine in 2024 now, the medicine where they administer to you, the drip the anger stick now salo, the anger now paid. Yeah, then get pipes where pass through the hospitals. You need to see them. Now you bed for me, bed and they connect tube to the wall, take medicine, take drip for you. Take today with the seeding system, and then you see somebody and the end drip and I hold the drip and stick in the worker. They go in house because you don't get bed in the hospital. And then till now we'll fight 11 years war. Now then till they made a rob of with childhood. So for now we see the apple now, don't show say the politicians don't fail we. 20-something years. Just imagine if now Pekin say you pay for school, you pay for 20-something years of school. Every day you pay for 20-something years. After 20-something years, you never give report card. So it's really frustrating. So now that's a bit the try for me. But I think the people now only now I think in a way I talk about the amok at the beginning. Then I talk about and say with the CNT. I think people know understand what I try for me. And they just try for tell how deteriorable that country day, how health system day. The bed today will get gara, you go na them bed na upline, then gara, then country gara close where they make. We not even get pure. The spread where it costs up to 5, even 10,000 a ton. We not get on a bed. They go in and then gara, they see them pray that then government bed, hospital bed, gara, where then the dog ink pan. Go there, they see them. So now that are the time for talk, so we no go. So for let somebody go sit down, me they explain. Good for a study all night. At least if you don't use them, let it get better degree than the one within the order. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I will hold the call because of time, and I really want for go through this. I know want for do a second show on this, and I know for say you don't say wanna see me, and I think people are really listening keenly to what they say, because I said today I no come for can talk boku. I dey listen and I respond. I dey do colors today. So you see the reason why make a talk say this interview clearly depicts and it clearly confirms the fact that the person who wanna feel to say wanna elect na power, not to in they rule the country, but that the ruling of the country is being divided. There is a group of people, sets of people ruling the country. Because I say it gives some pertinent information them way. If this information were accessible by everybody, because these are trade deals, these are not things that are accessible to the public. Boom. Matilda can't go today and say, I want to see the full 10, 15, 20, or 500 page. Because these are things that goes to lawyer from this, from that. But like not a 1 page, 2 page, 5 page, 10 page. No. These are not things that are privy to the public. If na been seen them way privy to the public, colors. It means say, waiting me Matilda able access, waiting every other color and every beer color. Now him as also as a private citizen where say claim for be also able access. But my lady, unfortunately, I can say with all confidence that these are not documents that are accessible by the public. And so for you to know what are in those contracts to the minute the detail means that you get your information from places you should not have access to. Make we continue for listening.
I think that is wrong. And these are the things I believe that are stopping Africa from progressing. We don't have a say. The sense about us celebrating independence, I don't know why we celebrate independence, because we are not free. That is my own take. I'm not speaking also on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone, nor am I speaking on behalf of His Excellency the President. I am speaking as Fatima, as a citizen of a country who believes that things need to change.
Yes, I agree with you. Things need to
In Africa,
change. I continue agree with you. Things need for change. There is an imbalance of power. There is an imbalance of distribution of wealth and resources. But at the end of the day, we have to be our own drivers. We get to set the example. Listen, they say you teach people how to treat you. You say they talk as a private citizen, but some of the informations then when you divulge, private citizens don't have access to this information. So your source of information, your access to this information, now because of something. And that thing they just because you happen for be the president in West no mean for say you forget access to the information they are so. No ma, no teacher sir or teacher ma. To so they be. You say what are we celebrating independence for? Guess what thing? 100% I clap for you. I agree with you. There is nothing to celebrate. 63 years, what do we get for show for them? There is nothing to celebrate. But for you to turn around and say that because we are not free, now when they give you brown envelope, when they call UNU, then give you brown envelope na corner, then they give you kickbacks. Why you not record and go live? Like we been sit down at that UN conference about what 5 years ago. You go sit down at that UN conference, you televise, say you have arrived. Why make you not go online and say this is what they are trying to do to us? This is what we ask for. This is what they are doing to us to intimidate us. You can do it. You've done it several times. Why is it that when you are receiving the checks, they go online? Why is it that they are be accountable for the checks them and the kickbacks them where they get? You are blaming people. But why is it that you are not forthright to tell them, say, I want to go on side, but you know what, I the whole lamb for the right thing. I really want to cross one bridge right now. But at the whole lamb, the time will come when I will say it. Why make we know we are a group of people where we are never, it's always the other person's fault. It is never our fault. Now that make I say, you know what? Professor Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba will be very happy about what you said. But it's just that you see with him, there's a dichotomy. With him, he juxtaposes. When he lay the blame, he not just the lay the blame, he they give the consequences of the blame and how we in turn play into it. He they expose we don't hold them. He not just the cast blame, point finger, no more. They forget say 3 of the finger, they come back to him. There's nothing to celebrate, it's true. I agree with you. As a matter of fact, I think since we take power, there has never been a formal independence celebration on the 27th. That is okay. But what have you contributed to? Can you acknowledge what your contribution in the defecation has been? Can you? Can you acknowledge what your contribution to it all has been? Because you can't claim perfection where there is none. Wouldn't that be hypocrisy? Make we continue for listening.
You should not have a leader that is assertive, a leader that knows what his people want, a leader that wants to change what is happening. The moment you have that, it's everyone's target. And then they find reason to slow you down, they find reason to stop you, and they use that system of corruption. They use corrupt people, they use negative people, they use unpatriotic citizens to come after a government who is doing what is right for a system. I think we need to address those issues. Unfortunately, I don't know I'm very good at name calling, but at the moment, I don't know who I should be screaming at.
Okay. Hey, they use unpatriotic citizen when a leader is assertive. Isn't Kagame assertive? Does Kagame bend and play to their whims and caprices? You don't go Rwanda. You don't see Rwanda. You don't see how we develop. Even cockroach self they afraid for what kind of treats. That is how clean the place is. They get discipline, they get law and order. You don't see the waitman when mistake or we don't ever mistake. It's not because they have not tried it, but he knows what he wants. He knows what his people want. He knows what his people expect of him. Call him a benevolent dictator all you want. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. There is proof to show. Even the very Senegal they talk so. Unfortunately, Macky Sall goof at the end stage. But see what he did. See the advancement he brought. Even the one before him. So you feel to say, then they were not twisted, but they knew what they want. They stood for their people, for the good of their people, and their people stood behind them. You feel to say corrupt one and not amongst those. You feel to say the one then that can be easily plied. They're not there amongst them one and they. You are saying corrupt people. You are saying corrupt people. You are saying people who do not wish the good and the whatever. What happened to RiceGate? Now, Uda in watch RiceGate happen. What happened? No, it was an SUV. No, it was a sedan. No, it was a 4x4. What happened to that? Was that what the money was meant for? They send money for palliative care for people them. What you want to do with the money? And you are talking about what? What you want to do with the rest them? What you want to do with the COVID money? Instead, you bought consolidation packages. And give to Paramount Chief, say they self-deserve vehicle. Should we start now going in and start listing everything that has happened? You're talking about being responsible. Is being responsible buying a $250,000 vehicle in this day and age? Is that being responsible? Is that what being responsible is? Is being responsible owning clinics in the United States, owning home cares in the United States to cover the money laundering? Is being responsible having a minister where they eat permauna money na somebody in Oz building a 4-star hotel in Kenema and in Bo? Is that being responsible? Is being responsible having ministers who have not worked for over 10 years owning 4-5 mansions? Is that being responsible? Is being responsible building hotels in the Gambia? Right? That is an assertive leader, right? Yeah? Carla, Smell, continue for listening.
One of the most serious issues I have with the United Nations is the fact that Africa is not part of the Security Council. We're talking about 54 countries, I'm sorry. 54 countries, a whole continent does not have one person representing Africa when it comes to decision making at the Security Council.
And I'd observe also that no African country has its own executive director at the World Bank either.
No, unfortunately,
Yes.
we don't know how to manage money.
I think I'll have to disagree with you.
What do you want me to say? Because if that is the perception since the beginning of, every time an African come forward for something, that they have to be a decision maker for the world, not just Africa. It's just not possible.
I understand.
So what can I say? There must be a prescription somewhere that says, Africa, you are not good enough.
Well, it might be revolutionary, but I'm going to say it right here. Africans should be in charge of Africa.
I believe that also that Africans' issue can only be enhanced when Africans decide to do that. They should not allow another person to give them a prescription of how Africa should look like or what we need in our Africa, because we know what we need in our Africa. No one will know that better than us. And I think the UN should see Africa as partners. And the United Nations, definitely, you cannot have 7 countries vetoing everything. When it comes to Africa issue, it is those 7 countries. Who are the countries that are actually exploiting Africa? They're the ones who have the veto power to make decision on anything that has to do with Africa. So for me, I think that is wrong. And that is one thing the president of Sierra Leone has campaigned for. And this year, Sierra Leone is now a non-permanent member at the United Nations. But yet still, we don't have a veto power.
You know what's funny? Because again, I agree with you. As a matter of fact, left with me alone, if I had all the powers in the world, the UN will not exist. It will not be an entity that exists. No, it not will exist. Because one of the most useless institutions ever created, now in the UN system, make I not like you now. Honestly. Waiting really, who's I today for talk? Waiting really, the UN system don't really achieve since the creation of its existence. Waiting it don't truly achieve. Almost resolutions they nowadays. Almost security councils they nowadays. Almost. Yes, I agree. Africa not to a country. I often correct that. Where if I hear big name celebrities, even me in my workplace, it doesn't matter if it is the prime minister talking, if it is a minister talking, if it is a deputy minister talking, it no matter. The moment you go Africa, they know me for that. As a man, I'm very well known for that at my workplace. The moment a statement is made and they use the word in Africa, and I listen to them, and I deduce clearly for say, when what they are saying the word Africa should not have been used. Instead, a country within the continent of Africa should have been identified. The moment we then say question, when they open the platform, now me first they put me on. I am notorious for that. Because of that now, some of me directors, then when they want to talk, if the word Africa, then they make sure say they go right down to the minute detail and find the countries then and refer to the countries then. Because I am very quick. I quick for put me on up and say, you referred in so and so statement, this is what you referred to. Can you please clarify by stating the country? Because Africa is not a country, it is a continent made up of 54 countries. I'm a very proud African and a very proud Sierra Leonean. And I don't sit down any side and allow anybody for this, make that disrespect there. I know they allow them. Yes, we get with issues then, but I know they allow anybody for make that disrespect there. I don't care who that it be. You dey correct them and they correct you right there and then. So, but you see, my lady, you made a mistake again in your research. Do them properly. 5 vetoes then, not to 7. You say, how can 7 countries have the power for make decisions? No man, 5. It has always been 5. Now 5. Okay? The permanent members are 5. You know, when I read that, I doubt myself small. If someone is in my house now, then go notice, say, I go and I do a research. One of me tabs the way open a research on that, just so I am clear that when it turns 7, how come I not know? How come I not get a press release on that? But now 5 countries then get that power there. And you see, madam, if Sierra Leone is to be made a permanent member today, what money do you have to contribute into the basket fund? When they can call, say, Bombo Soro there, this day and we need for send Scoopy and we need for take care of that family and people and they starve and now whose money you get for contribute for put inside the basket fund? Remember, I say if our resources were managed properly, the poorest man in Sierra Leone would be a millionaire. And I know they talk millionaire by salon money, they talk millionaire by the highest currency that I know in the world, which is the pound sterling. So the pound sterling itself before pale in comparison to the power of we money, to the Leone's. Because there was a time in history when the salon money being valuable, much more valued than the pound sterling, even higher than the pound sterling. Could you believe that? If you not feel to send a story, they make you go check. So yes, I believe that all things managed properly, the poorest man in Sierra Leone will be a millionaire. But all things have not been managed properly. So how do you want to be part of an institution where dondo you no get for put inside? Dondo you no one day put inside. Have you ever contributed into the UN basket fund? If they call salon today, say na this 9 na the budget, na this 9 we need. So $100 million. 9 for kind side. Can we? You see, when we talk, let us understand how these things work first, the structure of these things, before we begin to do the point finger. I agree that an African country, that the continent of Africa should be represented, because it cannot be that always these 5 giants are the ones that are constantly making decisions on behalf of others. But have we proven ourselves to be at that space, to be on that table? Have we proven that we have it all, we have the wherewithal, we have what it takes to sit at that table and to make the decisions that are needed at that table? And not that, I know they try for justify that our not being there is okay, because by no stretch of the imagination is that okay. By no stretch of the imagination is it okay. But we as a people collectively or individually have not proven. The only country where I go maybe think na me head say maybe they close, that we can all rally around them battle, maybe na Rwanda, because forget Nigeria right now, Kalas. Forget Nigeria. At one point you would have maybe said maybe Nigeria, but Kalas, forget Nigeria. Maybe more look to Rwanda. You know what I mean? But you see, the way you went about it and the justification where you give, it not add up. It not add up at all. If you don't go deeper, nose dive deeper for understand. And also know the expectations that come with being seated, the expectation that comes with that table, having a chair at that table. There are expectations that come with it, that comes with it. And number one of that expectation there, you see all them people they want to send where they go represent salon, we don't feel to say they pay them. And the basket fund they pay them all. And we know that. We know say not a salon that money they come out. We know say salon no get shishi for pay them. We know that. We know say na the basket fund na the UN system structure na they pay them. And also we no feel to say that money they come out from the big five. From the big five. That big five they way they point and banzo. Now then they pay. Recently when I give nomination to the UN, some people them, you know. I mean, I see, I'm not gonna call certain names, it's all good. But you know, man. You know, say not to you, man, in government, not to in the pay them people there so. You know, say that money there, now from within the UN structure, now they pay them. All them people they know, I don't go nominate for go represent salon inside the UN. So if you say that money they come on. The big five where you say they make decision on your behalf. Now them all. Then taxpayer them all. They come on. More listen, more to go.
But we're there. At least we are getting closer. And in these 2 years, our mission is to get the United Nations to see Africa not as one country. Because that's the mistake they do. When you say I'm from Africa, they say, oh, you're from Nigeria. I said, no, Nigeria is one country in Africa. You know, we have 54 countries in Africa. So see us as a continent that also, what we offer to the world, Europe does not have it. What Africa gives to the world, Europe don't have it, America don't have it, Asia don't have it. Because we are not mining in China, we are not doing any mining in America or mining in Europe. But they're doing it in every part of Africa. Not just Sierra Leone, go to Democratic Republic of Congo, go to Botswana, go to Angola, go everywhere there is mineral resources. It is the West and the Chinese who are there. When you come to Africa,
it is everywhere there are mineral resources. It is the West and the Chinese who are there. Africa does not come to Europe or China or America, but America comes to no. Mama, you make mistakes. You make mistake. Oh, Africa they can Europe. Africa they can America. Africa they go China. You know what to make I say so? Yes, maybe in terms of mining opportunities, digging from the ground, the looting of the ground, which is facilitated by you all. Let's call a spade. They come. But we also, on the other hand, we also go. Who says you don't they talk so right now? Why did you not turn down this per diem, this plane ticket, this nice hotel, nice food? Why not turn them down and say, thank you very much, Harvard, but I will stay in my country. There is something called, virtual presentation. I will be in my country and I will do this lecture or this question via a virtual stream, via a virtual medium. Let me know what medium. Is it WebEx? Is it Teams? Is it Zoom? What other types of medium would you like us to use? Is it live stream doing this? Let me know. I will be there. Because guess what? You people you big brothers are on our necks. You look at us as inferior. You loot us, you take our reserve, you take our resources, you take our stuff. I don't want any penny from you, because this is what the husband of the agenda of my husband is. We are trying to correct the wrongs. We are trying to make sure we do the right thing. We don't take kickbacks. We don't take offers, we do the right thing. I and my husband, my husband will not be going to Penn State. He will not be traveling all over. Whenever there is an invitation, we will accept the invitation. However, you will not see us physically there. We will honor the invitation by showing up and being present through a virtual medium, because technology has advanced to the point where I don't need to be physically there. You see, when you were making that statement, if you were in Sierra Leone and you had done this virtually, then you sneak down there inside. Like right now, if I don't score you, if I don't score you, if I don't score you, don't score you, if I don't score you. If I don't score you, me video they meet me. You gotta say, not so this was so you always they criticize me and score me so today. But you took the plane ticket. You flew the plane, leaving your carbon footprints all over the globe. You stayed in the hotel. You ate the food. You drank the water. You took whatever benefits came with it. You drove the car, leaving carbon footprint. You not use bicycle or you know walker. You walked and sat there. And then you want to tell me waiting. You want to tell people they're waiting. What really do you have to say to them? Because I should say, even the person where they interview, even they say, no. You know how to manage your money, and I think no, to be honest, dude was being sarcastic. That entire group of law students or whoever you feel you were addressing, they were just sitting there bemused and amused at the same time. Let us continue, yeah.
Ask me what is it that I want. If you ask me what food do you want to eat, I'll tell you I want to eat rice. But then if you come to Africa and bring me spaghetti and said I want you to eat spaghetti, that you're imposing on me. With everything that we have in Africa, for all the people or all the organizations or all the companies that are coming to take from us, for once, see us as partners. For once, treat us with respect. And then help us develop. Because when we're developed, doesn't mean you will not do your mining. It just means you'll be changing lives, and changing lives in a positive way. So by depriving us that development, by depriving us that opportunity for us to be able to be self-sufficient, for me, that is what is wrong. And that is why I am not able to stay silent.
So, madam, who is depriving you from developing for your people? Who has deprived you? Who has stopped you from developing for your people? When you were in the Emirates, did the Arab not give you money to come back home and make something for your Hands Off Our Girls project? You don't give account of that. Every other place you've been to, the diagnostic center, the this, the that, who said that money then they go? I agree. When you come to me, ask me what I want. Don't tell me what I want. That has been the biggest flaw of international relations, international development. One of the biggest flaws, the assumption that going in, I already know what is needed. But you see, that pillar has been broken down, that silo has been broken down a long, long time ago. So that then have been all time, like even as recent as maybe 15 years ago, now when they use that kind of statement today for we inaptitude. Right now, that statement not a jive anymore. Because the structures them where the OECD been put in place, when they create such barriers, those structures have been moved over 10 years ago. They don't move their structure then they don't move their mandates then they don't move their demands then they as part of before they give you money or before aid is given to you or before partnership is formed. They don't move then like it is not even there is no line anymore in any international or development contract where you would see that. And I'm speaking from experience and I'm speaking with authority because I know what I am saying. Not they exist. It is no longer there. So what are you saying? You have the power. Make I use your analogy. You have the power and the freedom to say, in this continent, in this environment, in this setting, a cassava leaf with the eat. So you either can join me and eat the cassava leaf, or if cassava leaf no agree with you, belle, bring you young come and cook come for you safe. But na cassava leaf, na we dey grow and na we dey eat. Yeah, na cassava we dey grow, we dey boil the cassava, we patch am, we turn am gari, we turn am gari, we make kanya with am, we soak gari with am, we cook fufu with am, and we cook cassava leaf soup with am. You have the absolute agency to do that. So I don't understand who side this belief or concept or idea of they insist, they dictate, they mandate. No, ma'am. Go back and read. Go back and look at the contracts. It is even forbidden within the OECD. It not even they part of the language or the lingo anymore. So say they pull this one. I think the problem here is that, using your own analogy, when they come, instead of make you tell them, say, na yaso, na this grown, na cassada with the plants, na cassada tick with the plants, that cassada tick the under, they give we cassava, that cassava they, we dey ferment them, we dey turn into fufu. Look how the fufu tastes. You can eat it with okra soup, or you can eat it with wheat soup, or any other soup you want. We dey turn into gari, we make kanya, we soak them and drink them. We dey boil them and eat binge with them. We can even put butter and or pamine on top and rub maggi on top. And you see that leaf waiting up inside, we know they throw away go to. We dey beat and matter odo. We put her inside pot, we boil lamb, soba one. If we want, we put tola inside. Or if we want, we put okra inside. We put a granite inside. We cook and soba one. And if we want, you see that boiled cassada, we can eat them with them. Instead of telling them that What you failed to say in your statement is that when they come and say, I think you should eat spaghetti, big guy, spaghetti, what is it? It looks amazing. It looks very nice. It looks very scrumptious. Can I taste? Instead of telling them, inside this compound here so, now this here there so, and this now we they do it with cassava. You hear don big. So the big guy they make, you go begin learn how to eat spaghetti. Even though your metabolism, your entire structure was not made to eat spaghetti. But you big guy, you are one gut. They make you change your entire gut structure for begin eat spaghetti. Even though your structure, you make for it cassava leaf, potato leaf, rice, binge, pamine stew, fufu, ogipap, respap. Let us continue listening. It is the end of the audio. The people them have been telling us say, for today, you know, I go get for beer with me. I go take the show a little bit longer because I will deal with this once and for all. I tell you now for say today na colors now we dey do. Yes, today I didn't have man country. Colors, we are finishing it. Because she gave us colors, I also have to give colors. She finished it, I have to finish it as well. So you see, my dear, before you go around pointing fingers and saying that I smell decaying around me, remember that the first nail where you mass, now you put on there, and that's the atrophy that you are seeing right now, the penda way you see right now was your creation. Or you are part of the creation of that atrophy, of that penda. If you don't know what atrophy means, do your research next time. When they give you information that you are not supposed to be privy to, don't allow them just write it down for you. Ask questions. Know the background. Have background knowledge. That way, when you come and say something, somebody like me go able to back you fully in what you are saying because it makes logic. But if I can pick flaws on what you are saying to clearly demonstrate that it makes no logical sense, then obviously you know why we're in a situation of atrophy. Not so. We are clearly in a situation of atrophy. When you have a government who cannot account for the spending of certain monies or spends irregardless of what's going on, and you're telling me that, oh, because they think we cannot manage our own money. But you have proven that you're incapable of managing your resources, and you are saying they should come help us. That helping us would not negate or would not deny them, their mining rights. Again, I ask you, my dear, is it part of their corporate social responsibility or responsibilities? If not, did you request or demand that it be part of their social corporate, or it be part of their corporate social responsibilities, hereby safeguarding yourself and hereby allowing your people to grow and to have and to be with? But you see, when you make such statements, and then you turn around and you see a nation or a people that are being told that a vehicle worth 250,000, not a talk shipping cost to, don't enter now that get under the president, and you sit down, you make such statements. Don't you think it's comical? Don't you think it's comical? You want to make people and take we serious. You want to make people and truly, you want to make people and take we serious and make them take you serious. You think they say? Really? Oh my God! You know, I've been reading some of the comments sometimes on the chat. Unfortunately, the producer not been get the chance today for pin some of the comments them as they go along. Very interesting. But there's one that caught my eyes, and there's one that actually they say give somebody in flower when they alive, and tell when someone is good and they are speaking truth. Say it, not to malice. We don't need for malice just because we talk truth to each other. Somebody in the comments say, I think this person is Andrew Stefan Levy. This person goes to say, there is no other Matilda. Our analysis are spot on. Our in-depth knowledge about pressing national issues are unquestionable. Her passionate plea for our country is unparalleled. She is the deal. I don't know that I'm the deal. There's one thing I will tell you for sure, is that I am passionate about Sierra Leone. I am passionate about the good of Sierra Leone. Because I know that if we put our hands together, we can do it. We can achieve it. We can make it work. But it takes sincerity, it takes honesty. So then kind talk here, so, sounding good, feeling intelligent. No, without any form of veracity to the structure, any form of rudimentary to the structure, to the base, to the foundation. See we then at them platform here, so when they talk something, make sure say you don't miss. Make sure say if you they go there for go fire properly that you leave no stone unturned. But if you they fire away, when they look inside, you see bus trusses. It's like you dey go for go bail per mine, you wear white. Let us be careful. Let us be very careful how we approach these issues, how we deal with these issues, how we choose to criticize, and how we choose to solve. The people them. Oh, thank you. May God bless Salon, and may God bless we all. Until next time. Tata.
We dey use the knowledge my youngest. Say that's a cushion. The youths them just dey die. Say that's a cushion. Sorry, salon. We say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. We say that's a cushion. Papa government help we say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion.
Ole, Papa government jele.